So today we are finally out of the studio and we're on our way to see a good friend of mine who is runs his own YouTube channel, and he's pretty good at crashing drones from what I've seen so far. So today looks like a great day to test out some drones.
A few inches later.
This will be Scott's first journey that he hasn't crashed or lost his drone.
Yeah, I think we're 3 drones in now. 1 Mavic Pro and 2 Airs, and this is the Pro 2. That beeping is like really disheartening.
Yeah.
Please
Still
come
not
back.
home. Still not.
And I can just about see the castle. So we're good. We're all good.
Good morning and welcome to my YouTubes. The Mavic Air 2 has been something I've been waiting for quite some time, ever since I borrowed the first Mavic Air from a good friend of mine who has a habit of crashing them. You can go see that here and here. I've always wanted to get my own, but I knew that a new model release was imminent, and thus appeareth its successor, the Mavic Air 2. I was so excited to buy this as we had absolutely tons of trips planned for this year, so it would have been perfect to capture all of those moments. But as we know, pandemic, so nope. But I have been able to get out to some spots here in the UK, so let's get into it, chat about everything that there is to chat about for those of you new to flying a drone and maybe considering this as your very first purchase. Also, stick around to the end for all of the laws here for UK for flying drones. First off, if you're new around here, it would be great if you did all the YouTube things, maybe even subscribe to the channel if you want more videos about techie stuff. Massively approved. So today, I want to talk to you firstly about the Mavic Air 2, because I want to, but also from my perspective, as this is my very first drone, and also because there are some things that you need to be aware of here in the UK and worldwide when flying a drone. So firstly, I'll cover off what comes in the box, a few of the key features of the Mavic Air 2, go through how to set up and connect everything up, talk about the basic operation, and then lastly, I'll finish up with a little bit explaining about how the drone laws work here in the UK. And you can jump to the sections in the timestamps by clicking on the links down below to get straight there. So let's kick off with unboxing it. So this is the Mavic Air 2 Fly More combo. This is the box for it. And if we just open it up, it's empty because I've already opened it and I've already used it. Whoa, what a shocking surprise. It basically comes with the drone, a case, loads of spare props, a remote control, some ND filters, which you don't get in the standard version of it, a battery charger, 2 extra batteries, and a power bank to charge all 3 batteries. And it also has a USB cable to then charge the USB-C controller at the same time. That's the unboxing done. This DJI Mavic Air 2 has a 1/2-inch sensor. It can shoot 4K videos up to 60 FPS and take 48 megapixel photos. It has an incredible 34-minute flight time from a single battery, which is actually better than the Mavic 2 Pro at the moment. It has OcuSync 2, which should allow you to fly up to 10 kilometers, which is around about 6 miles away. And it has sensors on the front, on the back, and underneath, but not on the sides. I may have discovered that recently. Feature-wise, it has some really smart active track settings that will track you whilst you're walking, running, biking, whatever you do. And it also has an option for an 8K hyperlapse, which is just awesome. I also opted to buy the DJI Care refresh, which allows for 2 full replacements of your drone in 1 year if anything bad happens to it, including drowning it in the sea, which my good friend Scott, I'm sure, will be glad to know. To set this up, you unfold the legs, and then for the first time you'll need to attach the props because they don't come attached. But just a note here, make sure they're attached in the right order because there are 2 different types of props depending on where you're fitting them. But I'm also pretty sure that the app, the DJI app that you use on your phone, will tell you if you fitted the wrong ones. It's just the way that they spin. You also need to pop a micro SD card in the slot, of course. Make sure you've got a fully charged battery on the top, and then just press the button once on the battery and then again and hold to switch the drone on. Oh, and also, because I've forgotten, take off the protective lens cap. That is the drone. Now onto the controller. You want to pull out the top cover here, which also works as the aerials. Pull out the charging and the data cable. You do also have the thumbsticks in the bottom, so screw those in. Then you get your phone. I'm just going to use the wife's phone as an example because I'm using mine. Connect it into the bottom. Push it into the case here. And that is it. Next thing you do is you fire up the DJI Fly app and it will walk you through connecting to the drone. And if this is your first time, then it will check for any firmware updates. So it's probably worth switching this all on at home before you actually take it out so you're not caught short by a firmware update. Other than that, it's really easy to fly. I mean, personally speaking, as a beginner to all of this, if you touch nothing, then the drone stays exactly where it is. Even in high wind speeds, it still stays pretty damn still. And if I throw up some video footage of when we went to the White Cliffs at Beachy Head, that footage was shot on a really, really windy day where I wasn't even sure if I should be flying my drone at all. Now let's talk a little bit more about laws and legal and licenses and all of that kind of stuff. So, upon purchasing any drone that is over 249 grams, you will officially be required to pass a theory test, which basically is about 5 minutes of online research, £9 for the exam, I believe, and you're pretty much guaranteed to pass it. In that exam, you learn the main rules. Don't go within 50 meters of people or buildings. Never fly over 120 meters. Don't fly closer than 150 meters of built up busy areas or crowds of more than 1,000 people. And since you can't fly over 120 meters in height, that basically means don't fly at all near those sorts of places. Always keep the drone in direct sight. And in general, just don't be an idiot and fly the drone near like an airfield. But particularly, don't fly in the restricted zones that surround the runways. How do you know where these are? Well, if you just download an app called Drone Assist by Nats, and it shows you exactly where you can and can't fly. Now, with all of that said, there is a change in the drone rules which comes into force in December 2020. And for this video, I'll just cover how this affects those with the Mavic Air 2. After the new laws in December, you can not fly your drone within 150 meters horizontally of residential, commercial, industrial, or recreation areas, and also 150 meters of any uninvolved people, which basically means you can't fly this thing anywhere. But if you complete the A2 certificate of competency, then you can fly as close as 50 meters horizontally of uninvolved people, which kind of brings it back to the pre-December laws. With that certificate, there's also no limitation on proximity to buildings, but of course there are still, if people are in those buildings, then the 50 meter rule applies. And those are basically the changes, so looks like I'll have to take this A2 certificate of competency to carry on flying this drone. I also have some really, really epic adventures lined up for next year. Hopefully if Corona can be sorted by then, please, okay, thank you. So I am looking forward to getting some incredible drone shots of all of those activities. Otherwise, I hope you liked this video and found it useful, instructional and enlightening. If you did, then don't forget to click the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already by clicking the link that's probably down there somewhere. Also hit the bell icon that's also down there to be notified when future videos are posted. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.